In this video, we're going to take a look at the best gaming headsets of 2023. If you want a detailed deep dive on each of these, I did do standalone reviews on all of them, and I will pin them in a comment right down below. And a quick side note that you're going to spot on a lot of these headsets are Wicked cushions. You all know since day one, I have been praising and loving Wicked cushions. This is not a sponsored plug. This is just something I want to make you aware of. So let's kick it off with a bang here with the Audeze Maxwells. Oh my goodness, this gaming headset is phenomenal. It makes me so happy to see Audeze getting the praise that they're getting now. I've been raving about Audeze from back in the Penrose, and I used to get a little bit of hate back then, but even to Audeze's headphones, I've covered just about all of them in a gaming aspect. So if you want to check those out, make sure to go look for them. Just so cool to see Audeze now getting the praise they really deserve. Now, as far as comfort of the Maxwells, they are definitely a mixed bag for sure. Now, you do have that full swivel, which is very nice because it's going to fit any head shape. As you see, I got my new Wicked Cushions headband and the pads on here, and wow, does it truly transform this headset, not just cosmetically, but also for the comfort. They are just that much more comfy. But again, you do have plenty of adjustability here. Now, where the Maxwells can fall off a bit is with the weight. This is an incredibly heavy headset. As you see right here, 594 pounds. And no joke, you feel it even on the head. Now again, even though I have the replacement cushions on here, I still want to give you the dimensions. As you can see, they are plenty big, plenty depth. Now the Audeze Maxwells, the pads, even the stock ones, they're a little bit thicker on the back end and a little bit more shallow on the front. Kind of gives it that angle, which helps those drivers go right into your ear. Really nice. Again, the stock pads do that, and also the Wicked cushions do that as well. So as far as comfort and fit of the Audeze Maxwells, again, when you take this headset and put it on your head, you clear as day feel that weight. There's no denying it. The clamping force is definitely lighter, especially for a heavy headset, so you feel it resting on the top of your head. But even with the stock headband or the replacement one here, it's distributed really nice. So it's not really pinching on you anywhere, anything like that, but it is lighter. And with it being lighter and a little bit heavier, again, if you bend down or something, you're going to get those micro adjustments on it, and you will catch yourself moving around a little bit. But again, it's not deal breaker. It's not uncomfortable by any means. It's definitely cozy for sure, but you do feel that weight. Now, the Audeze Maxwells are also packing a lot in the features and functions department, as you probably noticed already. You have your power button, you got your mic mute button, which I really love it out there. It's not one of those buttons you got to search for on the back. Really nice touch. You have your microphone, which is detachable, and you have an included windscreen. And by the way, while we're looking at it here, you can see you got these little holes there for microphone, and you also have this noise cancellation with the microphone, which do all the mic tests at the end of this video. But anyways, you can press that right there, and you get that noise isolation for the microphones. Anyways, detachable microphone port, your USB-C charge port, your 3.5, your game to chat dial, and then your volume. And one thing I really love about the Audeze Maxwells is the Bluetooth that's into it here, which you can control the entire headset via an app on your phone, or you can do all this on a PC as well. But I love the app. It's simplistic and easy to use. As you see, you got your volume, your side tone, your game to chat. You can control it all right there. You got EQs you can set. You got presets that you can choose from, or you can set your own custom EQ. And then over here, you got your auto shutdown and voice prompts. Being able to control my gaming headset through an app right on my phone is awesome. And you're going to notice that in a couple other headsets that we're looking at here as well. But you're mid-game. Say you're playing Call of Duty, then you come over to Diablo or something, bam, just dial it in there and get your EQ set. It is just so awesome and convenient. But most importantly, the sound of the Audeze Maxwells. And my goodness, these things are so fun to use. I've stated in a lot of my Audeze product reviews that it's hard to explain. It's something you really got to use. And that's not a fluffy sales pitch by any means. I truly mean that. They are exciting. And talking about these using planar magnetic drivers, they're not using the drivers that really punch out. You're used to a car speaker or your desktop speakers or a subwoofer. That's not what these are using. All the sound is really being delivered how it should. It's crispy, it's exciting, it's full, it's immersive. It's doing everything right there. But you're not going to get a full punchy bass with this headset. You're going to get bass, but it's not going to be that thumpy kind of Beats headphones bass. You're not going to get that right here. But don't take that as a bad thing, because you're getting a natural, pure bass, and the bass is going to do what it's want. Now, there's one thing I want to point out. Some people have stated the Maxwells are not good for FPS games, and I gotta disagree with that there. A gaming headset really depends on what game you're playing. So me playing a lot of Halo with this here, I could hear footsteps fantastic. Those reloads were, whoo, you could truly feel them. You hear that grenade bouncing out there, right? You really got those directional cues with this headset. Now, say if I'm coming over to Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a jumbled game. You got to get into the settings to really dabble with it. Go check out my EQ video I made for it if you're more interested in that. But with Call of Duty, you hear your footsteps more than anybody else. And yeah, you get that here, which you can get with just about any headset. So is this bad for FPS? No. Is it the best? No, but what is the best? Again, it depends on what game you're playing. This headset checks all the boxes, honestly. The only downfall I can say here is it's heavy. The new Logitech G Pro X2. This headset just makes me so happy. If you go watch my old videos on the original Logitech G Pro X, they pretty much fixed everything right here. And that kicks it off with comfort. As you see, the ear cups laying flat, because now you have that full swivel. And look, they go quite a bit forward and then back. And you might be wondering, why does this guy always talk about swivel? Well, it's nice because it's going to fit any head shape. If yours is a little bit bigger in the back or a little bit tighter, it's going to fit there. If you're using glasses, it's not going to keep that pressure point right there on your frames. Nice plush ear pads and headband. You do get the cloth ear pads in there as well, because these do get a little bit spicy. And yes, the Wiki cushions will fit on these as well. But these ear pads, plenty wide, plenty long, as I did that opposite, plenty deep right there. Now, this headset is also very lightweight, which is a nice combo with that adjustability and then the lightweight. When you slap it on a scale, you're getting 338 grams. So again, it's not going to be cumbersome for the long game sessions. I mean, no joke, this headset just makes me so happy seeing what Logitech did with it. They did everything right for it. Y'all know comfort is number one, because if it's not stinking cozy, you're going to want to take it off, and it doesn't matter how good it sounds or what it's packing, right? And when you take this new G Pro X headset, oh man, it is phenomenal. Now, as far as features and functions on the Logitech G Pro X2, pretty simplistic. On the back, you got your power switch, which again, mild things like this, I really love to see. As I stated, power switch, not a power button. You flick it up, bam, and you can tell it's on. You don't got to sit there and hold the button and wait till it turns on. Little touches like that, I love. Over here, you got your volume wheel that is continuously rolling. Nice tension as well. You got your microphone mute, USB-C charging, and then your Bluetooth button. And unfortunately, this is not simultaneous Bluetooth. Up here, you have your detachable microphone, included windscreen, and then your 3.5 port. Now, as far as sound on the new Logitech G Pro X2, they've really rehashed these compared to the old ones. So if you have the old ones, these sound significantly different. They're using graphene drivers now. And just a quick synopsis of what that is, it's just a tighter driver compared to, say, a paper one or a rubber one or something like that. They're really tight drivers, so it delivers a really crispy, true sound where nothing's kind of mixing up and getting muddied up into things. That's when people state muddy, that's what they mean. Like the bass is kind of taking over the mids and the trebles, and it's just kind of getting muddy in there. These are very crisp. And yes, they are geared more towards the highs. So you're going to get more treble with these. And again, I really like these for FPS. When I was playing some Fortnite, I can just hear the people walking from a building across the way. It was really cool. And you get that detail with these. And again, just like the Audizies, you're not going to get that punchy bass with here, with them being a bit tighter, but you do get a natural solid bass. It's not thumpy by any means. It's not full. And again, like I stated, these are geared more towards the highs, and this might be the crispiest headset out of the bunch we're talking about here. So if you like, again, geared more towards the highs, a lot of that detail, say Counter-Strike, for example, that's what you get out of this. But you can dabble into some EQs and pull out a little bit more bass if you want, but the highs will always be prominent here. But the sound on these are so just, again, it's lively and just so detailed. It's a very exciting headset, just like the Maxwells we looked at. I mean, I can say it over and over. I love what Logitech did right here. This headset just makes me smile. What they did good. The Razer Black Shark V2 Pro 2023 edition. Gosh, this headset has been on many top lists for years on end now. And again, since they've refreshed it, being a 2023 edition, well, here it is again. And there's just no denying this is one of the most comfortable headsets out there. When we slap it on a scale, we are going to get 328 grams. That is with our microphone attached right there. As far as our ear pads, we'll get some measurements. Nice, big, soft, plush ear pads. They are a little bit shallow, as you see right there, but you do have that padding down in the ear pad, so it really doesn't annoy you, and it's not going to pinch and hurt hurt your ear. But yes, they are a little bit shallow. But oh, mama mia, these ear pads are so plush. And they're fully cloth. As you see, you got that sports weave there. Same with the nice plush headband up top. And when you look at the adjustability of the Razer Black Sharks, they're a little different than some of our traditional headsets. You got those forks coming out the side, which is just that little wire, which helps out with that lightweight, but also with the flexibility. Because no, they don't have that standard swivel, which you all know by now I absolutely love, but they still adjust. They adjust perfectly fine. Look at that. Just a little bit there. Bam, and they're out. And a little bit inside, they're out. And that plays into, again, sitting on your head right here. I don't have a pressure point anywhere. That's a combination, again, that flexibility of them and those incredibly soft ear pads and that lightweight. This headset is so stinking cozy. Now, as far as features and functions on a Razer Black Shark V2 Pros, pretty simplistic. You got your power button, your microphone mute, USB-C charging, detachable microphone, which is just something they upgraded on the 2023 version. Very big plush windscreen as well. We'll do those microphones at the test. Again, you have your volume wheel here. Again, there's your microphone port if you take it out. And over here, you have your mode switch button. Because yes, this headset does have Bluetooth, but unfortunately, just like the Logitech, it's not simultaneous, which is just a stinker. I like simultaneous Bluetooth. Now the sound on a Razer Black Shark V2 Pros, straight out the gate, they're going to be a full headset. There's going to be a bit more bass in these that I think a lot of us might want. Now these are packing the Triforce drivers, so again, you got those mids, that bass, and the treble that kind of do what they want. And once you dial these in, you can really experience that. Again, if you have these, you got to give them the time, because out the gate, you're going to be like, ah man, this is a little bit too full. And it's not thumpy bass, it's just that warmer sound, right? And for me, I want a little bit of everything. And with the Triforce drivers, again, you can truly get that. And when you dial it in and you kind of drop that bass a little bit, pull out the highs a little bit more, you can truly get this. And there's a lot of customization you do with this headset. It's like bass enhancement, voice clarity, all sorts of stuff. With the Triforce drivers, again, I keep stating, you can truly play with them and make them a headset you want. I love this headset when I play Diablo because, again, I like that fuller sound in there. It's just a lot of fun. And then with Destiny, I get that fuller sound, but I can still get the different sounds of each weapon, which is what I really like. I like that immersion. And again, I want to feel like I'm in that game. As corny as that may sound, that's what I really like. But the cool thing about the Black Sharks as well, when you dial them in, they can be amazing for an FPS game. I use the originals when I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six, and it's cool. You can pull that bass down, get those highs out, and you hear the footsteps so detailed. Again, with the Triforce drivers, being able to separate everything. So this is a very versatile headset as far as sound. Great for FPS, awesome for story, or again, just the mix of all of them right there. It does everything right. It's a very fun headset once you dial it in. Hence, it's been on the top of many top tier lists. And if they come out with a 2024 version, I'm sure it will be there as well. Next up is my current main headset, the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X. And starting off with comfort, it's no secret that SteelSeries does comfort perfect. It's 366 grams when we put it on a scale. With the Wicked cushions, it'll be a little bit lighter without them. But as far as adjustability, they go out, a little bit in, ear cups move. You still have that nice floating headband design, which can actually be adjusted in there by a few notches. But the really cool thing is SteelSeries with the new Nova line, they actually implemented the adjustability on the arm right there. It's not clicky, it just kind of glides on there. And as you see, it has some pretty nice tension. Now, as far as the ear pads here, again, they are Wicked cushions. And as you can see, they are plenty long, plenty of wide, and plenty deep. And all these pads you're seeing I'm using, these are the gel ones here. So they got that cooling gel inside, which again, they feel really nice. It's no secret that SteelSeries does comfort right, if not the best. Those Black Sharks are taking a close second, but when you put this on your head, it's definitely on that light to medium clamping force right there. I don't feel like it's going to fall off because, again, it's not incredibly heavy like the Maxwells we saw. It just sits on there like, I don't even want to say like a hat. I feel my hat more than I feel the headset. I would say these feel more like a nice loose fitting beanie. They are just that stinking cozy. Now, as far as features and functions on the Nova 7X, they are packing a punch. Over here, you have your power button, you have your Bluetooth button, which yes, it is finally simultaneous Bluetooth. You can get your music, or if you're watching one of your favorite Technic videos while you're gaming, you can get both of them at the same time. You got your chat to game dial here. You know, these little cups pop off here too, so you can paint them, customize if you want, or buy a set from SteelSeries. USB-C charging. Over here, you have your 3.5 port, retractable microphone, just like the old SteelSeries you're familiar with. Over here is your volume wheel, which bottoms out at the lowest, tops out at the highest, and then your microphone mute button. And again, just like the Maxwell's on the dongle of the Nova 7X, as you see, you have Xbox and USB, and yes, these will work across every single platform. Now, if you buy the 7Ps or the regular 7s, they do not have this option. So again, that's why I'm covering the 7X. I mean, are you seeing why this is my main headset so far? Now, as far as the sound of the Nova 7Xs, I really like it because it gives me a fun sound across every game. It's not too much bass, there's not too much highs, it's very neutral. Awesome sound that I think we all can get down with. Now, when I say neutral, don't think about I'm saying flat right here. It definitely has, again, that bass when you want it. When you need it, you're going to get it. And it has those crispy highs, that nice dialogue when you want it. Nothing's doing too much. And yeah, you can dive into the engine or sonar and really play with this headset to some serious extremes. But out of the gate, this is a headset I think a lot of us can get down with. If you're playing Call of Duty, Diablo, a racing game, Destiny, a story game, something like that, I really think you're going to be able to get down with this sound. Again, it's not doing too much of this or too much of that, or too little of this or too little of that. It really does everything nice. It's a very full yet exciting and detailed sound. You get the immersion, you get that detail, but again, nothing is too much or too little. I mean, this headset just does so much right. The next headset on our list is a game changer, being the Corsair Virtuoso Pros. Now, as far as comfort of the Virtuoso Pros, very, very comfortable. As you see, 342 grams. That is with our wires attached because this is a 3.5 headset. When you look at the ear cups, they're pretty much round, just like the original Virtuosos. And you can see they're plenty wide, plenty long. As far as depth, they are a little bit shallow, but again, you do have that padding down in the bottom. And these ear pads are pretty soft. As you see, they're fully cloth, a little bit of pleather lined in there, but they do give way. And when you press down on them, your ears are going to touch the drivers. But again, you got that padding in there, so it's not unbearable or uncomfortable, something that's going to hurt. But just letting you know, they are very soft. Now, coming up to the headband, it's kind of the opposite. It's not incredibly firm, but it's not nearly as soft as the ear pads, which I wish it was. Now, as far as adjustability on the Virtuoso Pros, as you see, full swivel all the way out in, your ear pads go in and out, and then you got that adjustability on the headband. Nice firm click, so it's not going to adjust on you. Again, this is going to fit any head shape. It gets pretty big for any of those big heads out there, and it gets really small if you got a smaller head. And when we compile everything as far as comfort on the Virtuoso Pros, the lightweight, the adjustability, the flexibility, you put these on and it is, gosh, it's so phenomenal. Again, my ears go inside of those cups because they're so big. But yes, I do feel my ears touching those drivers, but it's not unbearable because, again, everything is soft. If there's anything I feel, it's the top of the headband. That's if I have a hat on or a hat off, because no, I don't game with the hat on. But man, this headset is so cozy. And as far as features and functions on a Virtuoso Pro, well, they're lacking them for sure. Again, it's a 3.5 headset and there's nothing on it. You don't even have a volume wheel. And for your microphone, you got to actually change out your wires, which you pop out here, which they're very easy actually. It's actually indented to let you know which one's left and which one's right. But to use your microphone, you got to plug in your other wires, and your mic mute switch is right on the back. So you catching on now why I'm saying the Corsair Virtuoso Pros aren't really like a gaming headset? They're more like a pair of headphones? Well, this next topic is really going to solidify that, being sound. And as you're looking at these here, you're seeing the grates on the outside. That's because these are open back. You see that more in headphones. We've seen it in a couple gaming headsets before, the Epos H6 Pros, and I think one other one, which I forget what it is. But again, it's not that common. So as far as open back, there are some pros and cons with them. Number one, as far as the pros, is they expand the environment a little bit more. And how do they do that? It's not like a 7.1 sound, or it's not like you're going to pick up more footsteps. What it does is prevent, again, those drivers from banging on your head and all that sound being locked in there, getting a little bit muffled, banging off different angles of your ear and stuff. This is going to let some of that excess vibration escape out, and again, let those details kind of linger around a little bit more. It gives you that environmental sound, which is really nice for a story game. You hear a lot of people state open back's better for FPS. You all know I strongly disagree with that because, again, you're letting a lot of those sounds out Plus, you're letting a lot more sounds in, which is the downfall about open back in my eyes. And I want you to do this example with me here. If you've never used open back, this will be a little science project for us all, okay? So take your hands, put them over your ears, and just talk. Just say anything regular, and you're going to hear that sound. And then take your hands and then just spread them open like that. And you can go back and forth. As you're talking like this, then when you spread your fingers open, you're going to hear it open up. That's a prime example of open back here. That might be a little bit dramatic, but you're going to get that vibe. And that is the vibe with a closed back compared to open back. Now, the downfall of an open back pair of headphones is if you got a loud environment, you got kids or other TVs running in your house, you gaming with these, you're going to hear that. And you gaming with your game, everyone else is going to hear your game. So if it's late at night and the kids are sleeping, well, they're going to hear that. But as far as the core sound of the Virtuoso Pros, these are really different compared to some other open backs I've used before. You still got a lot of bass and immersion and that full sound in here. It will come up into the highs a little bit, so it's not as screechy as some other open backs we have used before. You still get that nice gamer sound, if we want to call it that, which is really awesome for an open back. Because again, talking about being able to get that detail, that's usually what you get with an open back pair of headphones. But with this still giving you that immersion and that body in the low end there, it's really fun for gaming. Now, one quick side note I want to talk about here are the Sennheiser HD58X, since we're talking about the Corsair, which is also an open back headphone. These are very similar as far as price and again, just the sound of them. The cool thing about the HD58X is they just reduce some of that bass in the background. It's not as full as, say, the Corsair. So if you want something that's a little more neutral across the board, that's what you get over here. Again, it is open back, so you still get those same pros and cons, but as far as the sound, these are really awesome for gaming. So again, you got two differences here. The Corsairs are definitely built much better than the HD58X, but as far as the sound, if you don't want that true gamer sound, you can come over here to these and get something that's a little more neutral and again, really fun. So as far as the Corsair Virtuoso Pros, I'm sure you can see the points I've been making, right? It's a game changer as far as gaming headset space because it's more like a premium headphone for gaming. Really cool to see Corsair making moves. The VZR Model 1. This might not have been a headset you heard of, but one you need to. Now, as far as comfort of the VZR 1s, put it on a scale. First off, we are getting 462 grams, so you're seeing it is on the heavier end, but shockingly, you don't really feel that too much on this. That goes first off with these very big plush ear pads. Like, hopefully you guys can catch that in the camera. These things are so smushy and plush. You see right there, nice dimensions, pretty much all the way around, just like we saw with the Virtuosos. Bam, right down there, plenty of depth. I mean, whew, these things are so stinking cozy. Coming up to the headband, you got that padding up there as you see, but you also got that floating headband, kind of like we saw in the Steel Series. And that's pretty much your adjustment right there. You can see it pulls right out there to fit any head shape. And as far as adjustability on the VZR ones, well, you got 100% swivel. These things can swivel all the way around. So if you want to wear them inside out, you can. And it truly shocks me when you just look at everything we talked about as far as the comfort and flexibility and adjustment of the VZR ones. This headset is so stinking cozy, and it's amazing and awesome to be able to say that when you're looking at how heavy it was or the incredibly premium build of this headset. I don't know how they did it, but I don't feel it pressing anywhere. I don't feel that weight. Again, a distribution from the flexible headband and these plush ear pads. This headset is so stinking cozy. Now, as far as features and functions on the VZR1, pretty simplistic. You see you got your 3.5 going to left or right. You got your detachable microphone here with your windscreen, but I want to show you a cool little trick here, which we'll do those microphone tests. But as you see, I just pulled that windscreen off. Look at this microphone. So you got to catch it up in here, but then you got this little lip right there. It's really cool. It's going to block any of that excess sound from the outside and then also hold your voice to catch into the microphone so it's not just going past it. Really cool little touch. Small things like that, again, make a huge difference. Now coming down into your wires, your 3.5, down here, you got your mic mute and then your mic active. And actually right here, you actually got another microphone in it. So if you don't want this big old microphone on there. Now again, just like the Corsairs, there's no volume wheel or anything on this headset or down within the wire. This is your only split point here because again, when you get into something like this, you don't want all those break points. You want to go source into the headset. Now I want to talk about the sound on a VCR Model 1 headset here. And I want to say this is like the shining point, but I can't say that. It's an amazing point, but the comfort and the build and everything is phenomenal here. So as you're seeing, we have the ear pad off and you're seeing quite a bit go on down here, right? Usually in most headsets, you're going to see the driver sticking right out there. You're not going to see any of this. And I talked to the guys about this. I'm like, why do you got these notches here? You got these little triangles there, the big ones there, and this one over here. What that's doing is actually delivering the sound into your ear so it's not bouncing off any of those bones or that cartilage right there. And it's delivering more of the bass over here. It's delivering those highs straight out right there. It's really cool. It's almost similar kind of mindset to like the Razer Triforce. This is a whole lot more detailed, but the same kind of vibe. So it's going to split your bass over here with your highs, not let anything kind of come in between each other. It's going to deliver the sounds how and where they need to be. And yeah, you truly notice it with this headset. Now, straight out the gate, this headset is a little bit more bass, and it has become my main go-to headset for Diablo because, again, I'm getting that full immersion, that body, those monsters and the battles. Oh, it's so fun. It really is. But I'm still getting the highs of the abilities and stuff or the dialogue. It is phenomenal. And again, what they're doing here, delivering with this, is just so fun. You can play around with it, right? Talking about using an app, I've dabbled into Dolby Atmos with this. And talking about it being more bass heavy, which is why I didn't use it on shooters at first. But when I started getting into Dolby Atmos, wow, every little bar that you adjust, you can truly transform this headset into something else. Now, yeah, it is more on the higher end. It is a premium headset being wired. You're looking at top dollar, but again, this is an experience. You can't look at this as just a gaming headset. This is really something special. So again, if you haven't heard about or checked out the VCR Model 1s, I highly recommend you do because this is just something special. Again, it's almost like the Corsairs. It's hard to call this a gaming headset. I mean, honestly, what makes it a gaming headset? This microphone? The new Turtle Beach Stealth Pros. Whew! This is one serious headset. I've been saying it for many years now. A lot of yous with that bad taste in your mouth from the old school Turtle Beach, forget about that and give Turtle Beach another chance. And this one truly screams that. Now, as far as comfort, this is a slightly heavier headset. Again, as you see, I got my Wicked cushions on here and it's coming in at 460 grams. And yes, you do feel that weight, not as much as like the Odysseys we looked at before, but again, you do feel the loftiness here. Now, as far as the ear pads, they are plenty long, plenty wide, and plenty deep. Now, as far as adjustability and fit on the Turtle Beach, as you see, you have that full swivel, your ear cups go in and out a bit, and then you have that adjustability on the headband. And this is just like the SteelSeries where you got the little tension in there. It's not clicky for say, but you can see my Turtle Beach has already given a little bit of weight. Nice and tight. And then right up here next to these last two notches, if you can see, they pretty much just kind of just let go. As you can see down here, it is pretty tight. So during game, I will catch myself having to do a slight micro adjustment here and there. But again, that's not deal breaking for me by any means. So with the Turtle Beach Stealth Pros being a little bit heavier and again, having that give way already up there, I will say this headset you feel on your head just as much as the Odyssey Maxwells for sure. I would say the Maxwells, they do feel a little bit heavier, but with these giving way, it's a light clamping force, and with them being heavier, they do move around. But I don't think you're going to be headbanging while you're gaming. If you are, let me know what game that is you're playing. But you do feel these resting on your head. And again, with them being a little bit heavier down here in the drivers, I think you're going to catch yourself doing that slight micro adjustment here and there. Now, features and functions on a Turtle Beach Stealth Pro, we can sit here and talk about this all day. So I'm going to briefly go over this. If you want that detailed dive, make sure to go take a look at the standalone video. But number one, underneath the right ear cup, you got your power button, superhuman hearing button, your Bluetooth button, which yes, this headset is simultaneous. Over here, you got USB-C charging. Now on the outside of the ear cup, you got this wheel that you can roll. And I set mine as my volume, but you can set it as something else if you want, just by pressing that button. Bam, and it's kind of like a multi-function. Really cool touch. I really like this here. Coming over to the other ear cup, you got your microphone, which yes, it is detachable. And they actually got a little cover in there, so you don't want to, if you don't want to see that, really nice to give it a nice flush finish. But you can also pop this ear cup off, and then take that battery out and swap your battery out over here with your little charging station. And this is really cool. Again, you got that second battery to charge up, and you can swap these out. Like if you're mid-game, swap them out. It will disconnect for a second, but you don't have to press any buttons or repair anything up. Right when you swap your battery out, it will actually pair up by itself. Really nice touch there. On the back side, as you can see down here, you got Xbox and PC, because yes, with the Xbox version, again, you can use this across every single platform, even PS5. So you're catching on. Buy the Xbox version of these headsets. Right down here, this says charge only. So if you want to charge a controller through it or something like that, you can, because this is going to be going to your source. And then you just got an extra charge port in case you're using up the port on your system. Now, one of my favorite things about features and functions on the Stealth Pros is they are also controlled through an app like we saw with the Maxwells. But this one is laid out fantastic. It's very easy to use. As you see up here, you got your superhuman hearing, active noise cancellation with BAM. You can just turn on and adjust high or low. Now, don't expect the active noise cancellation on these to be like Sony, Bose, or Apple by any means, but it is nice if you got that noisy environment just to kind of settle that down in the background a little bit. So really nice to have that. You can turn that on or off. Chat boost, game to chat mix, which you're going to see all the stuff you can set to adjust on the headset. You don't even need this, but really cool that you can do it right on the app. You can actually set preset EQs. You got signature sound down to vocal boost. I like bass and treble boost in the signature sound. Signature sound's kind of my favorite. But you can actually go into advanced and actually create your own EQ. But you have to be paired up to the transmitter. Right now, we're only connected via Bluetooth. But the cool thing is if you're connected via the transmitter to your console and you got Bluetooth active, you can adjust it all on the fly mid-game. Really cool. But sliding down here, this is what I like. You got a basic simplistic EQ. Your treble, you can boost it up right over here, your bass boost, and then your vocal boost if you want a little bit more of that high and mids. It's really cool and simple to use. Again, when you get into advanced, it can get a little tricky. Down here, it's just so simple. You can really have a lot of fun with it. And look at all these pages we got here, right? So you got microphone, you got your microphone mute, mic sensitivity, noise gate, your mic monitoring volume, and then you also have a microphone EQ as far as clarity, smooth, signature sound. Gosh, there's just so much here. And then you come over here, you have Bluetooth EQs. So if you're listening to music on this and then you're gaming, you got different EQs. So whatever type of genre of music you're listening to, bam, you got that there, and you can do advanced EQs, and then you also have your EQ for your game. So it's not just muddied up in between each other. That is so stinking awesome. Anyway, sliding over here, this is what I wanted to show you over here. So it's talking about your transmitter, and then the buttons on the outside. You can see it says wheel and button. That is talking about this, wheel and then button out here. And you can set it to different things. So if the wheel, you want mic monitoring, you want Bluetooth volume, superhuman hearing volume, your bass level, so on and so forth. So many different things you can set it as. Now you can also adjust that button that's in between that wheel. As you see here, it can do your active noise cancellation on or off, your noise gate, your multifunction, and you can set it for PC and Xbox. This headset does everything. And right down here, you got voice prompts and tones, so on and so forth, and then your auto shut off. And right over here is going to be your update in your firmware. So sorry for yapping about the features and functions on this headset for so much, but again, I'm just briefly going it over here. I mean, there is so much customization you can do with this headset. I absolutely love it. They thought about everything, minus the light on this charge station, because even when you're gaming, it flashes red if it's charging or green if it's connected. It drives me nuts. Now, the sound on the Turtle Beach Stealth Pros pulls me right back to the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X we talked about. This is a very nice, manageable sound. You got bass, you got your highs, you got your mids. You can really play around with it with an EQ and truly transform it into what you want. If you want more bass or more highs, it really does it right across a shooter game, a racing game, a story game. I will tell you the SteelSeries, they have a little bit more punch. Whenever you get some of that really immersive bass, you will get that more out of SteelSeries. But this one, I feel like it's a truly manageable sound and a really clear, detailed sound across the board. Nothing is overboard. Nothing is too little. And again, when you dabble with those EQs, you can truly pull it out to what you want. Again, if you want more highs for an FPS, or if you want to drop that bass down like in Call of Duty where you just hear your footsteps bouncing around, you can really drop that down and get a little bit more of that clarity. Or even with a racing game. There's so much you can do with this headset. And again, it's giving you a really nice, true, balanced sound. I stated it with a lot of the previous Turtle Beach headsets. Turtle Beach is really coming a long way with their gaming headsets. And again, seeing this one get traction makes me very happy, just like Audeze. You know, the sound of this, I think all of us can truly get down with. I mean, from features and functions to sound, this headset just screams awesome. The only thing it's lacking in a little bit is the comfort.
Remember this button I showed you up here is the noise suppression for the microphone. So you can click it once for low, second for high. And what that's going to do is eliminate some of that sound in front of you here. So give me a second. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click it. I'm going to pull up one of the videos on my other YouTube channel called Adventure Undone. Let me go on and get it. And if you're into motorcycle stuff, make sure to, oh, there it goes. It's clicking already. Make sure to go check that out. Off-roading, adventure motorcycles or anything, make sure to go check out my other channel. But what I'm going to do is set this down. iPhone, I'm going to set it at halfway volume. I'm going to hit noise suppression. Noise suppression is now on low, and I'm going to play this video and see how much of the sound it cuts out. Again, my volume is halfway on my iPhone. Oh. I'm going to go right up onto the phone now.
The only thing, even with your hands, if you were to grip the rack back here, I mean, I got so much.
They're going to start going back.
Exhaust, so I don't think that's going to be an issue whatsoever.
Pretty cool, right? So pretty cool to have that. Now, if you had a keyboard in front of you, which I don't have on me, this doesn't make any noise. But anyways, here. Pretty cool. Now I want to go ahead and put it on high because that was just on low. Now noise suppression is on high. Let me go on and get my video and play that.
As well. But as far as passengers sitting here, you don't got to worry about foot clearance because you got that space.
So we went from right at 2 feet and then up onto it. If we're doing a keyboard on high. Wow, that one cut out pretty good. Now I'm going to swing it back to regular. Now noise suppression is off, and let's just do the same test just to see the difference.
I can tell you it is significantly louder and burblier, if that makes sense. And that's why I got you outside of the garage.
I can clear as day see the graph picking it up, and if we're on a keyboard, wow, so it's really working. Now it doesn't stop there either because you can microphone off and it'll automatically go to the microphones on the headset, and you can still use that noise suppression, which is pretty good for this type of setting because you're talking out and then it's picking it up. So if you do the noise suppression, it eliminates some of that reverberation. But I'm not going to sit here and bore you for 3 more minutes with more mic test, but you can see this Audeze microphone is so cool with the features and functions, but you really got to take that time to dial it in to suit your environment. And now you're hearing a microphone on the Logitech G Pro X2. Again, I got the microphone about a thumb's length away from my mouth. This microphone is a little bit shorter, so for me, it does go a little bit to the side of the front of my mouth if that plays anything in there. And again, I have no software tweaking, but you can dive in there and use the Blue software and really dial this microphone in a whole lot. But again, I wanted to give you that raw core experience, and then tweaking it, of course, that's up to you and your environment. But all in all, this is the microphone on the new Logitech G Pro X2 gaming headset. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro, the 2023 version. And this microphone is something that they updated on this microphone or this headset right along with the Bluetooth here. Now, this microphone, I will tell you that I had to crank it up quite a bit to let it pick up in there. If you tone it down, it's definitely lower. But the cool thing about the Razer microphone is even if you crank it up like we have it right here, you can pull it away. And if I pull it out here, the volume is going to drop pretty significant right there. So it's really cool. So if your buddy's like, oh, hey, man, you're hollering, you don't got to go into your settings and really tweak anything. Just pull it a little bit further away from your mouth. Of course, the closer, the clearer it's going to be. But again, it's really cool to be able to adjust it like that. Now, this windscreen is massive on this microphone. So if I pull it too close, it's almost like all up in my mouth. But again, the Razer microphone is phenomenal. And that's what you've been hearing is the microphone on a Razer Blackshark V2X 2023. V2 Pros, not the V2X, the V2 Pros 2023. Now you're hearing a microphone from the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X, and it's no secret SteelSeries microphones have always struggled a little bit, and I think they do here as well. They're not the best by any means, but you can dial them in. If you're using sonar, you can really play around with your microphone and kind of pull down some of the airiness, the tinniness, and the really high-pitched sound of this microphone. Also, if you pull a little bit closer to your mouth, you can kind of reduce some of that as well. This microphone's also the hardest one to mold. Like, it's almost got to like force it down there and get it because it just moves very easy compared to some of the other ones. So no difference here. SteelSeries, their microphones definitely need some improvement. They make fantastic standalone microphones now in their Alias line. Go check out that video. But I think they need a slight touch on their built-in microphones. And that's what you've been hearing here is a SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7X microphone. So now you're hearing the microphone on the VZR Model 1, straight plugged and played. The microphone is just a pinch over a thumb length from my mouth here. And again, we're plugged and played. I don't do any sound tweaking or software adjustments as far as a microphone test. Straight plugged and played. My environment, I got a little bit of sound dampening up right now. I got a fan running over there, and then my MacBook, which makes about no noise, just so you know what's going on right there. And I will tell you, I listened to the VZR1 microphone test back before, and they get a slight humming in the background. Not sure what's going on. Again, I'm straight plugged and played, nothing else running. And this is what we're getting from the mic here. And now you're hearing a microphone on the Corsair Virtuoso Pros. And one thing you might notice about this microphone is I already have it a significant amount from my mouth. I say significant, 3 thumb lengths away from my mouth. It's one of the microphones, again, that's right in front of you. But I will tell you what, I'll show you real quick here. If I pull it in front of my mouth, holy smokes, it picks up a lot. It starts peaking up there for sure. So I definitely recommend you keep this one away a little bit. Unless you're, again, a soft speaker, then you can pull it closer. But again, no tweaking or anything, just plugged and played. Again, this is 3.5, hence the reason it's probably picking up a whole lot more. And then your mute button is on the back here. Now, again, whenever, I don't know where the wires are, but you got to change your wires out to have the microphone on. If you don't want the microphone on, you just plug those in and you're good to go. You don't even look like you got a gaming headset. Again, you look like you have a pair of headphones on. But all in all, this is the microphone on the Corsair Virtuoso Pros. And now we're listening to the microphone on the Turtle Beach Stealth Pros. As you see, we are connected to our station, but no software tweaking or anything, nothing in the app right there, just straight plugged and played. Now this microphone's a little weird because it's a flip up to mic, right? So it's always right there unless you take it off, but it's so far out because this is one of the bigger headsets out of this bunch, right? But this microphone's all the way out here. Then it comes around, so it's like always right over there. It's kind of weird. I wish the microphone was just attached down there or something. I don't know. It just feels out of place for me for sure. You can slap a windscreen on it if it's picking up more P's and T's than it is. Again, flip down to active, and it's cool because you get the tones in there as well. Beep beep, high pitched if you mute, and lower tone if you activate it. So really cool, but again, it's just in a weird position. I'm wondering if it's going to pick up more room noise because it's so far away from my mouth, and if I try to mold it in, it still bounces out. But all in all, this is the microphone test on our Turtle Beach Stealth Pros.
So there we go, the best gaming headsets of 2023. And usually I struggle making this video. I'm like, well, which ones am I going to pick? But this year, I can just open a closet and say, those are what I'm going with. Bam, and here we go. It was that easy because these gaming headsets are so good. And 2023 was an amazing year for gaming headsets. I'm curious what 2024 is going to bring because these companies, they got competition just against themselves to top this. These headsets are so good. All the links will be right down in the description.